In this presentation, we're going to look at the history of the Hausa people. The Hausa people are one of the major ethnic groups that can be found in most parts of West Africa. They are in the majority or in their majority in a country like the present day Nigeria, Niger Republic. They can be found in Chad Republic, Burkina Faso, Ivory Coast, Ghana, Togo, Benin Republic. All these countries you see Hausa people in them. But in the majority, I think can be found in the majority in Nigeria and Niger Republic. Let's look at the possible origin of these Hausa people for us to understand them. Well, Hausa language is one of the languages that is very well spoken in most parts of West Africa. The language is being spoken by people that are from Hausa origin and those that are not Hausas. Precisely in the northern part of what is known today as Nigeria, in Niger Republic, parts of Burkina Faso and some other countries have been earlier mentioned. There are people they are speaking Hausa language. Some of them are actually not even Hausas by tribe or by ethnic orientation. Now let us look at the origin, the possible origin. The possible origin of the Hausas, just like most ethnic groups in Africa, is clouded in the differentiations and theoretical conflicts. There are different theories that tend to explain the possible origin of the Hausas. We have to look at some of them. One of them was the theory that originated from M.G. Smith. M.G. Smith. In his theory, M.G. Smith tried to look at the possible origin of the Hausas from social integration of some groups and also from the concept of invading. Social integration of some ethnic groups and also from the concept of invading. Now, he stated that the first or the earliest tribe to have arrived in what is known today as Hausa land were the Gwai, that they were actually the original people that were stationed and they were already residing in what is known today as Hausa land. Then, after a while, the Sao people entered the region and invaded the Gwai people, subdued them, and then started living together with them. Then, after some time, the Zarawa people entered the same region. Then, after some period of time as well, some Berber tribes from North Africa entered the same region. Now, his claim was that the social integration and interaction of all these people originated to a distinct group called the Hausa people. The social integration of these people brought about the distinct group called the Hausa people. But there are issues associated with this theory. The first, that if you go to these places as well mentioned today, you still see the Gwai people. You may still see the Sao people. And then you also see the Zawa people. You also see the Berber origin. Now, this integration may have happened, but it doesn't fully explain the foundation of the Hausa or the origin of the Hausa. So it's a little bit, it has a lot of answers, questions to be answered that the theorist and his followers could not create meaning to. Now, the next theory we have to look at that's from Avila Smith. Avila Smith decided to pull out from social integration and invading. He tried to look at the situation from the concept of long-term residence. from the concept of what I call long-term residence. Avila Smith believed that the Hausa people have been living in that region for many years. Precisely, he believed that as far back as 300 BC, the Hausas have been living in this area. Now, some level of evidences were provided based on archaeological materials found in this region. But this particular theory still falls short at giving the exact developments that led to their origin, or the developmental factors, or some even if there are social integration factors or any other factor that led to the origin of the Hausas. So, well, the theories may have brought some attempted to clear up some evidences, but the theories still fall short. Now, the next one we have to look at is the Bayajida's theory, what I will call an external oriented theory. The Bayajida's theory tends to explain that the foundation of the Hausa, or the establishment of the Hausa people, is traceable to a Baghdad prince called Bayajida. Some books may call him Abu Yazid. They said this prince left Baghdad kingdom, after he had a disagreement with the father, who was a king in Baghdad, and came southwest and went into Africa. That upon getting to, he took refuge in Bonu. And when he got to the Bonu, the Mai of Bonu, the king of Bonu, welcomed him and protected him. But he was not so comfortable with the king of Bonu as at that time. Where the king also gave him his daughter as a wife. The daughter got pregnant for him, but he was not comfortable with the antecedents and the behaviors of the king, whom he thought to be kind of have some treacherous situations. This made him to run away from Bonu. He ran away with his wife, leaving his followers. When he got to Biram al-Gaba, he kept his wife there because his wife was on the verge of delivery, and continued moving westwards until he got to Daura. When he got to Daura, there was an issue there at Daura, as the theory, well, it's more of a legend, as the legend claims, that the only well from where the people in Daura drew water had a very huge snake that prevented people from taking water from that well. The snake only allowed people to fetch water from that well on Fridays. When he got to Biram al-Gaba, Bayajida met a blacksmith that produced sword for him. When he got to Daura, he saw the situation. With the help of the sword, he was able to kill the snake. Well, it was a sacred snake from the story. He was able to kill the sacred snake. Now, this made people to start praising his, courage and his bravery attitude. And then this made the queen of Daura to marry him. So the union between him and the queen of Daura was a son called Bawo. And Bawo, in turn, got married and then gave birth himself and his wife, or wives, possibly his wife, gave birth to 7 male children. And these male children were looked at as the legitimate children of Bawo. They were Biram, Daura, Rano, Kano, Kassina, Zaria, and Gobai. Then subsequently, Bawo had a mistress from Gwari, and then the mistress also gave birth to 7 sons for him. And then this were looked upon as the Hausa, Banza, Bakwa states, the illegitimate sons of Bawo. And they were Zamfara, Kebi, Gwari, Yauri, Nupe, Ilorin, and Jugun. Now this is another theory, more of a legend. Well, there are some positive impacts from this theory, this Bayajida theory. One positive impact was that Most Hausas tend to look at Daura as their ancestral home, which is understandable. But this theory has its own shortcomings. There are a lot of questions that the theorists or whosoever created or generated this legend could not provide answers for, and nobody can provide answers for them. Making this theory to have some level of issues. First, this how old was the Baghdad area in comparison with the Hausas? That somebody living all the way from Baghdad came up and established a people in Africa. That's one shortcoming. Another thing was this. Now, there was already a political unit in existence, Bonu. Looking at Bonu, which there was Bonu Empire, if it was the Bonu Empire that we've studied, that will know, how old is Bonu Empire in comparison to Hausa land? The Bonu Empire that was established by the Kanuri speaking people. Has someone tried to assess them in comparison in the Hausas? That's another thing. The another thing was this. Ajida moved all the way from Bonu and got to Daura. When he got to Daura, there was already a queen in Daura. That means people were already existing in Daura. And for there to be a queen, that means there was an organized society in Daura. Then who were those people? Were they of Hausa origin, or were they of any other ethnic group? Surely Daura, from for the history being, or for a very long time, have been known to be a Hausa town, making it clear that Hausa people have been resident in Daura for many years. So surely it cannot be said to be non-existing. For there to be queen, that means there was a proper political structure or society that was in existence. Then for them to have a well from where they drew water, the snake theory and the snake story notwithstanding, means that the society was organized. There was a source of water for the people. And they went there to draw water. Well, the snake prevented them from the story, but at least the other day, the days that the snake did not prevent them, they were able to draw water from that. So the theory of Bayajida has a lot of questions that are not answered, and I doubt if anybody can answer them. There were already existing political structures on the ground, good society on the ground. Now there was another area of concern: the Bawo story and the children Bawo got legitimate and then illegitimate. When you look at the names of the illegitimate children of Bawo, you will see Nupe, Gware, Ilore, KB, and most of those towns or kingdoms were not occupied by the Hausas. Ilore, for instance, is more of Yoruba kingdom. Nupe people don't even see themselves as Hausas. The Nupe are different, distinct ethnic group. The same thing goes for the Jukun that were mentioned as illegitimate children of Bao. So basically, the theory or the Bahajida theory cannot ascertain the possible origin of the Hausa people. When you look at, compare these three theories, I don't know of the other ones, but these three theories based on research, I think the closest among them that can, at least to a certain level, give some explanation was the one from Avila Smith. that stated that Hausas have been living in the present day Hausa land for many years. But the backup here or the evidences here we are mainly based on archaeological materials and also the influence of the Hausa culture within the region. Most of the people today in what is known as the northern part of Nigeria tend to be speaking Hausa language. Although that does not mean that they are all Hausas. That doesn't mean that they are all Hausas, but they speak Hausa language due to the so they all speak Hausa language due to the social influence of Hausa culture, not mainly because they are all Hausas. And this is where some of the theories that try to link all of them to Hausa get it wrong. The traditional theory of origin of the Nupe never mentioned that they came from Hausa land. The same thing goes for the Jukun. These people have been living side by side with the Hausa people. They've had conflicts, they've had peaceful moments with the Hausa people. So these theories tend not to state the exact truth. Well, we will, if you have any theory also that we can analyze, please put it on the comment section. We will appreciate it because there are a lot of infusions into African history. There are a lot of infusions into the history of African ethnic orientations, which tend not to explain fully the history of Africans. And I think it is the duty of historians, mainly the young ones, to recreate and research properly African history. This is where the government should come in order to help young historians in carrying out extensive investigation or analysis into content in African history so that we will not continue misinforming ourselves. Please subscribe to our channel and click on the notification bell so that anytime we put up any comment, any content, you will be notified. Thank you for watching this simple and effective presentation.